Hi, I'm Pat Mangan, Director of Governance Education at NRECA. Welcome to Governance Talk. My guest today is Adam Schwartz. Adam, you are the founder of the Cooperative Way and member owner of Columinate Consultancy
Correct.
and longtime instructor. Glad to have you here.
It's great to be with you, Pat. Thank you.
We're talking about new director orientation today. We have 7,200 directors out there, and typically we hover at around 4% turnover. We've been running at about 6% for the last 2 years, and we expect that to continue. So my point is, there's a lot of new directors coming on board, and I'm certainly a big believer, I know you are, in the importance of getting started on the right foot, new director orientation. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's, I think, a real critical opportunity for us to onboard directors in a way that allows them to hit the ground running so that they don't have that deer in the headlights feeling for too long. There's a lot of information for directors to absorb, and the more that we can do on the front end of their experience, I think the better off we'll be.
Certainly starts the director off on the right foot, gets them aware of so many things that are important, everything from what the courts expect, and the members, of course, and fellow directors, and the CEO, and so many important things. So talk about some of the elements that ought to be included in a new director orientation. What's that look like?
Yeah, certainly you want to go through all the different aspects of where the co-op is involved. So obviously if the co-op's involved in businesses beyond electricity, talking about that, the full scope,
about broadband,
propane, whatever activities that they're involved in. You want to talk about the governance. You know, what is the role of the board member? What are you expecting? You're not expecting them to do anything regarding turning on the lights. All right?
They're not turning wrenches, right?
Right, they're not. Right, but what it means to be in a governance position, because we find that many people when they get on an electric co-op board. Have some board experience, but frequently that may have been the school board or a nonprofit. And being on a co-op board is a different animal, and they need to understand the differences.
I hate to scare directors sometimes and say, look, you're running a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Absolutely.
I see some shock sometimes on the faces of directors. They're stunned by that, but it's true in nearly all of the cases.
Yeah. So for me, the case for an orientation is, think about this. If you were hiring a new employee, let's say you're a small business owner, and you're hiring, and someone came in and applied for the job, and they never had any experience doing the job before. They were not formally trained academically in doing the job. What is the likelihood that you would hire someone like that? But when we think about how board members come on, frequently that's the situation they're in. They maybe had no formal training in what it's like to be a board member and have not maybe served on a co-op board before. So it's imperative that we give them the information. And I am a growing advocate of that orientation actually should be done before the election.
Before the election, okay.
Right. Let's look at all the candidates that may be running and schedule a formal time, at least 90 minutes, for folks to really get a good understanding of what it is that they may be signing up for, and maybe even part of the election recruiting process where we're looking at a variety of different candidates so that they have a good understanding. I can't tell you how many times I've been in sessions and I ask folks, is it what you expected? And most often not, they'll say things like, it's more time than I expected, maybe more travel than I expected because of the training. And one of the core questions is that people didn't even know that they were going to get compensated for their board service. And I'm a big believer that board members should be compensated for their time. It should not be the reason that they run for the board, but it's a thank you for using their time. And if people don't know that compensation is part of this, then maybe we're leaving a lot of good people on the side because they have full-time jobs and that maybe they're in a position where they can't take time off from work because they can't take the loss financially. But they knew if they were getting compensated that it would help make up the difference. And I think that's one of the things that, of many reasons why we should be looking at doing the orientation prior to them getting seated on the board. Because the day they get elected, the way it most often works is you have the annual meeting, the election, there's an organizing meeting right after that, and the new board members, they're on the board. If the next day something happens, guess what? They're liable, and they might not know anything about what's going on. So
it's a good point.
Making sure that they understand what they're getting into before they get into it, I think makes a lot of sense.
You make a good argument
Right
there.
there.
Adam Schwartz, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Appreciate it.